Hello everyone, Mr. B coming at you with the Challenges Facing Europe Quiz Study Guide Review. So this will be a relatively quick one. There's only a few questions on it, so let's get right to it. We're going to start at the message board and we're going to go to the Study Guides tab right here. And then we're going to go to the very last unit. We're almost finished. We're going to go to the Challenges Facing Europe Quiz Study Guide right here. So there it is, 9 questions, but before we begin we must make a copy. So you got to make a copy of this. This is my copy of the study guide. If you want a Google Docs version, you have Gmail, you're going to go to File, Make a Copy. I suggest you replace this copy with your name. Hit Make a Copy right here. It'll open up the file in a new window. That'll be your copy of the study guide. That'll save to your Google Drive. So again, if you have Gmail and you want a Google Docs, go to File, Make a Copy. If you prefer Microsoft Word or you don't have Gmail, you're going to go to File, Download Microsoft Word. This downloads a copy of the study guide to your computer so that you can type in it and save it like you would any Microsoft Word document. So once again, File, Download Microsoft Word. All right, there we go. Hopefully you all have had a chance to make a copy of the study guide, so let's get to it. We've got 9 questions. It should be fairly quick. Question number 1. Before we begin, I do want to make a note that this unit is not in the physical textbook. It says it right there, but if you're looking for additional resources, you must use the online resources that are available, the online textbook, and things that are linked in Connexus. This is not in the actual physical textbook, that big purple book they send you in the mail. So just a warning. All right, now let's get to it. Question 1, what do British and German economies have in common? Give 2 examples. Well, first thing is high wages due to investment in human capital. Basically, investment in human capital means they've invested in their citizens, right? They give them education, college, healthcare, things like that, right? So they invested in their people. And number 2 is strong entrepreneurship helping a strong economy. Basically, these governments allow for, small business and private business. That's entrepreneurship. People can start their own business, be successful, and that helps the economy be strong. Question 2. In recent years, what has caused controversy in the European Union? So the European Union is the collection of European countries that form this union, and they make decisions together, they debate things together, they have common laws and goals and currency and in recent years, we're talking around 2015, 16 years, one of the controversies that was arising was the influx of refugees, right? A lot of people were coming in from war-torn parts of the world, and the cost of caring for those refugees was expensive. And some European unions didn't want to pay it. Some European Union countries wanted to help. Some European Union countries said, they all had different opinions about how to help refugees and if they should help them. And that became a controversial topic amongst the European Union nations. Question 3. Why do people live within 100 miles of the coast in Western Europe? Well, this is kind of an old school thing, right? You live within 100 miles for trade and transportation. Most people in the world live within 100 miles of the coast. Just again, trade, transportation. It's always been that since ancient world, right? You want to live near the water. Just allows for much greater opportunities. 4, where do majority of Muslims live in Europe and why there? The majority of Muslims live in southwestern Europe, and this is due to the influence of the Ottoman Empire. So if you remember, the Ottoman Empire was the group that conquered the Byzantine Empire, who was the Roman Empire, right? So the Ottoman Empire, they conquered the whole region, and they also controlled parts of the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire was a Muslim empire, and they stood until around World War I. So yeah, because of the vastness of the Ottoman Empire, because of their influence, a lot of Muslims live in southwestern Europe. Question number 5. What effect does aging have on the European economy? The European economy. So Europe is an aging population, meaning that on average, European people are older than the average age of the rest of the people in the world, right? A lot of countries have younger populations where the average person is younger. Europe is an aging population where the average person is a little bit older. And this means that more people are retired, which means that there are fewer people working, there's fewer people earning wages, and fewer people paying taxes. So this is causing a problem because, in Europe, they have a lot of social services, but social services require a lot of taxes. So if there's a lot of people who are collecting services but are not paying taxes, it can create problems, and that's what's happening in Europe, right? There's a lot of older people there who are collecting and benefiting from the social programs of European countries, but because they're older and they're not working, they're not paying taxes, and this is putting a strain on the economies of some European countries. 6. Who appoints the European Commission, and what do they propose? So the European Commission is part of the European Union, is kind of the form of their way the government is set up with the European Union, and how those nations that are part of the Union, how they kind of work together and come to make decisions. So the European Commission is appointed by the governments of the member countries, and their purpose is to propose legislation. So basically every country is a union who's a member of the European Union, proposes appoints people to the European Commission, right? So you appoint people to the Commission, and then those people, they propose legislation, meaning they propose laws, taxes, things like that, right? 7. What positive effects did the establishment of the European have? List 2. Well, one positive effect was that member countries can trade freely without trade barriers. Meaning if you're a member of the European Union, you can trade with another member of the European Union without paying any special taxes, import taxes, or without getting extra fees that it comes with, trading with European unions if you're not a member, right? So members of the European Union, they can trade freely with other members. And next, the citizens can move and work and live amongst the other nations in the European Union. So if you're a citizen who lives in a nation that's part of the European Union, you can move to another nation that's part of the European Union and live there and work there and go to school there, and it is not an issue, right? It's just, you can just go there and do that. So it's really easy. So yeah, there's some benefits to being a member of the European Union. Question 8. Who elects the European Parliament, and what does the European Parliament do? So the European Parliament is another part of the European Union. Basically, the European Union, the way it's set up is there's the European Commission, which we talked about, and there's the European Parliament. The European Parliament is elected by the members of the EU. So the people in those nations, they vote on who they want to be in the European Parliament, and their purpose is to pass laws. So they would vote on legislation and laws. Number 9. What were Christians called who broke away from and protested practices of the Catholic Church in the 1500s? So we talked about the Great Schism, we talked about Rome, how the church split into two. Well, the church would break apart again. The Catholic Church in the 1500s broke apart and due to these protests. And this new group of Christians, this group of Christians who was protesting the Catholic Church, they would be go on to be called Protestants. So Protestants, another branch of Christianity that split apart from the Catholic Church. So yeah, there we go. There's all 9 questions. I know we went kind of fast. Hopefully you got everything. If you have any questions you have for me, please feel free to message me. And otherwise, good luck on the quiz, you all. Bye.